I'm Rick Van Ryden, and I want to reach out and share something with you. I've had so many conversations recently, it seems, around not just raising daughters, but relationships between male and female. And so I wanted to just highlight one of my all-time illuminating books on the female-male relationship. Now, I have the book up here, and I have it on my Kindle. It's called The Female Brain. And this book, if you've been in a workshop with me in one way or another, you've probably heard me mention it. And it's just a fascinating study. And this book helps us to understand what happens hormonally inside a female body. And I can tell you that the reason it's so important to me is I read it when my daughters were 10 and 12. And it was actually given to me as a gift. And it helped me to understand that my daughter, who is 10, didn't have many hormones happening in her body, or virtually none, because of her age. And my daughter, who is 12, had them hitting her. And I was coaching both their soccer teams. And what would happen is I'd work with the 10-year-olds first, and they were all compliant, and they were just fun. It was a great hour and a half practice with them. And then right after that, I'd have the practice for an hour and a half with the 12-year-olds. It was a different experience. I never knew if I was in control or not. And most times, as a matter of fact, I wasn't. There's so many examples I can remember just watching that group and say, what in the world are they doing now? And this book helped me to understand that they actually didn't know what they were doing now. When estrogen is produced in a baby girl and in an infant and up through about 2 years old, it goes up and marinates the brain and expands the communication centers of the brain, so they become more communicative. And then from 2 to about 12, there's very little estrogen produced. And then at 12, the full dose hits the same as an adult female. And it triggers things in their heads that they really don't know what's going on. What it did for me is it allowed me to understand that they didn't know, and allowed me to give them grace. It helped tremendously in my relationships with both my daughters. And they both had different experiences through those years, and they still are. I can just tell you that if you want to learn and understand more about the important females in your life, whether they're girls, whether they're teenagers, whether they're young ladies, whether they're your spouse, and it's helped me out in my relationship with my wife Sue as well. It's a great framework to use. So I highly recommend grabbing a hold of the book, The Female Brain, and diving into it. There's a lot of science that'll help you to understand scientifically what's happening. Now, I want to let you know also, because everybody always asks, well, what about the male brain? And there is, I think there's a book on the male brain. It's a pamphlet. There's no science, there's just pictures. It's pretty simple, I think. But anyhow, I'm joking. There is a book on the male brain. For me, as a father of daughters, this one was more important to me in helping my relationships. I hope it helps you.